Welcome everyone to the Marriage Vision Project podcast. So the MVP podcast. This is my wife, Brandy, and I am Jacob, and we are the Gospels, and we've been married some time, and we're glad you're here. So we just want to bring our vision of what marriage is and how we live our marriage to you guys. It's very close to us, and it's something that was taught to us. It's not something that we originally had, and something that we originally, like, we're just born with, or just bestowed to us, downloaded from God. No, it was something that was taught to us, and something that once we realize what it was and how important it is to have, one, a vision for your marriage. And what that means is just a plan, is basically a plan for what you want your marriage to look like, where you want to go, what do you want your marriage to look like next year at this time? What do you want it to look like 10 years from now? And what do you want it to look like 50 years from now? Yeah. And not necessarily in that order or those time ranges, but literally, when you imagine the future with your spouse, what do you want that to look like? What kind of house do you want, right? So think of a vision board. And, you hear people talk about, like, if you can't see it, you can't go to it, right? So just like the GPS, if we don't know the destination of where we want to go when we plug in the GPS, it can't tell us how to get there. We have no instructions, no points of, like those KPIs, the points of where we have to turn at, where we measure. None of that exists if we have no vision, right? So when we think of a vision board, it's literally like the pictures of the car you want, the pictures of the house you want, the pictures of, what you want your body to look like, how many kids you want to have. Is the whole plan, is the picture at which 10 years from now, I want my life to look like this. What is that, right? And that's why we decided on, creating this podcast, because this is free, and we want to be able to, we know not everybody could afford big things like our vision retreats or something like that, but we want to give this to you guys as just a free tool to where you can use and plug in your marriage. These are free tools that we could give you that we use every day. It's not something that we made up. It's not something that we read in a book, although a lot of what we do, we did learn from other people. So we did read in books. We learned from podcasts like this, but it's literally things that we do in our marriage that works. A lot of the things we're going to talk about are things that we used in our marriage that didn't work. We don't believe in creating this fake, oh my God, life is so good, and we never have any problems, and we have the perfect marriage and everything's so perfect. It's not. Like, we don't have the perfect marriage. We have a great marriage, but I'm still tripping and falling. She's still tripping and falling. But we did figure out a bunch of things, and we also want y'all to know how hard marriage actually is. It's kind of like if you listen to some of the gurus on social media, you hear them talk about, like, right now, entrepreneur is a hot topic. It's cool to be an entrepreneur, and it is. We're entrepreneurs, but it's hard being an entrepreneur. They leave that stuff out, and the same with marriage. You hear all the time of how great and fun and marriage is, and it is. But there's also the other side, and that's where the work comes in, and where the failures come in, and the things you don't account for because you don't know what you don't know come in. Yeah. So, but we're glad you're here, because we're going to teach you a bunch of good stuff. And so, like I said, this is just an intro podcast, and it's who we are and what we do and why we're here. So, what you want to tell them, Brandy?
I just want to say hello. I hope that we can transfer the wisdom that we've gained over the years. I always like to say, ask me how I know, because most of the things that we've learned the hard way. We've learned through experience. We've learned through failures. way more than the successes, of course, but I think that God gives us all a mission and a vision, and He definitely has given us a vision, and we feel like it's our mission to teach other people the same things that we've learned. And maybe you can learn through us instead of having to go through some of the hard things, because there's going to be enough hard things to go through. And if we can teach you and give you some wisdom, then all the better. And we feel like it's just the thing that God has put on our hearts to do. And hopefully we can help somebody along the way, because we've had other people who have helped us along the way. Maybe they didn't even know it. It could have been a book that we read. It could have been a podcast that we listened to, or people that have actually, we sat across the table from them and they gave us the advice that we needed and the wisdom that we needed to make it to the next season or through whatever it was that we were going through. So,
yeah. It's always good to find people that are ahead of you and where you want to go, right? So, if you wanted to, take a trip to the moon, you would ask someone who's been to the moon, right? And like Brandy was saying, we've sat across from many people who helped us along the way. And when we look at it, it's not, like Randy Dugas and Paula Dugas, they're that couple right there, they've been married, I don't know how long, 50 years or
sure.
They've been married a long time. Yeah.
At least I would say.
I think 50 or 60 years.
At least.
And, they've been through a lot of ups and downs and a lot of tragedy and just life. Like, you can't avoid these things. Like, they're going to happen. So, if you find someone that you can look to, just like we looked at Randy, and that's just one couple that we're talking about. There are many who can pour into you and let you know where you can truly be open with, not being judged, not being like, don't go to your friends because your friends agree with you. You want to go to somebody who you can trust and be open and vulnerable with what's really going on inside, so they can help you walk that out in a healthy way. And again, we hope that you get to trust us by the content we're giving you, to where, maybe it's us that you guys want to lean to and call on, and we can help you walk through that stuff, because people have walked us through it. Mm-hmm. And I know this is the first time you hearing us, so it's hard to trust us on this first podcast, right? But what we really want for you is, we really believe in your marriage. We think marriage has a 100% survival rate if done correctly. And we want to be able to show you how that's possible. And we want you to win. And we truly want you to win. It's in our hearts. It's just who we are. We believe in it. We believe in you guys. If you're married or you're looking to get married, we're definitely here for you guys. So we know what it takes. We know the work that it takes. It's not, like I said, it's not an easy path. And I think people get marriage kind of mixed up with I pick this person and I get what I get, and people change. Sometimes people change for the good. Sometimes people change for the bad. And sometimes people grow apart. Sometimes people grow closer together. People grow at different rates. So there's a lot of variables that come in that, again, those variables are neither good or bad. They're just there. And they have to be navigated. They have to be built upon and grown with. So, it's almost like marriage is a skill. It's like you take all of these skills, communication skills, listening skills, just service in general. I'm in sales and I teach sales. And one of the things that we teach is, we don't sell people, we serve people. And if I'm being honest, I learned how to sell with that service mindset because of my marriage. Because although my wife serves me, I don't look to be served by her. I look to serve her. And the same, it's like she knows I'm going to serve her, but like she's not looking for me to serve her. She's looking to serve me. So it's a service mindset with marriage. And I think as long as you keep that as the foundation of the navigation through all these good and bad and variable things, and I say good and bad because sometimes bad things just happen. It's not like the variable itself is good or bad, but it's a framed perspective to what we have. But if you keep service as the foundation, and of course with us, it's, our faith in Christ as the foundation, you're going to be fine. Like you're going to be fine. Because if you have faith in Christ and service as a foundation in marriage, then you're not going to have a problem reaching out to other people for the guidance that you need. You're not going to have a problem going to podcasts and looking for those things to help you solve these problems. But you're going to find yourself like going to podcasts and going to read books when everything is great, just so you could get better. Because most people want to go talk to somebody when there's a problem. And what we find is if you can start doing things like that and reaching out to people before the problem even comes up, before you even think you have a problem, you'll discover that your marriage goes not from the negative side of the scale to zero. You're going to start like on the positive side of the scale and even get even more positive. And that's where we really thrive at. It's not like we don't want you to come to us with this major problem. Of course we do, but like we want you to come to us and be like, man, like everything's great. Like, how can I make it better? And that's what it is. And I think most people don't understand that because they don't have a problem doesn't mean it's the best that it could be. Mm-hmm. Like we want it to be the best that it could be. Like, period.
Yeah.
Like things with the world coming against you and evil and just society of just the dilution of faith. You have society beating people up, beating families up, trying to just divide the family unit. That we're looking at it as almost normal. Like it's such a normal behavior that we don't even recognize of what they're actually doing to the family unit. So before you get attacked by that and before any bad things start happening in your family, if you could surround yourself with people who have strong marriages, people who believe in God and are looking to help you with nothing to gain, that's your people. And you need to find those people, and they're going to help you and help you win. And if you could win, we find if you could win in marriage and keep your marriage strong, the other areas of life become way easier to run up the score in. So it's a good thing.
Yeah. And we're not here because we have it all figured out.
No, we're still young. We're spring chickens. Like, I'm 45, she's 47. Like, we barely know what we're doing.
Right. We've just feel like we have learned some things that we can share with other people. Like I said, ask us how we know because we've been through it. We talk a lot about, more than one couple, but there was a couple that we would follow on social media, and they would talk about their marriage and they were giving marriage advice. And some of the things they were saying were really good. They had some good marriage advice. And I think they had only been together for a year.
A year.
And the marriage basically fell apart. And I think what we were looking at basically was when they were talking about their marriage, it almost made it sound like if you didn't get it, if you didn't know the things that they were saying, then you were an idiot.
Yeah.
And then when their marriage fell apart, we were left like, well, wait a minute, you had it all figured out. But that's not us. We don't have it all figured out. We're learning every day. We're reading every day. We're listening to podcasts. We're talking to people. We're meeting with couples. We just think that it's really, really hard to have a good and healthy marriage when you don't have people in your corner supporting you. And we just think we could be those people, because not everybody has somebody in their life that's close to them that can be that couple. And so if God, put that on our hearts to help, we think that's a good way for us just to be in somebody's corner. Yeah. To support them and give them advice and walk them through things. And sometimes we may not even have the answer, but we can at least be by your side, praying for you and just walking beside you the best that we can.
Yeah. No, it's a funny thing because marriage is so complex. And for someone to say, like, we have it 100% figured out would be kind of foolish, because the world is constantly evolving and people constantly change and evolve. And spiritually, there's this warfare going on around us. And like what you're saying about the couple who won't name, it's a sad situation, really, because they were on there, like you said, talking about it, like you were a complete idiot if you didn't
have it all figured out, just like they
didn't get it. And it was, when it all fell apart, everything was silent and super embarrassing for these guys. And I equate it to like the Bible. You can read the Bible and you can understand the Bible. And there's experts on the Bible. But there's a difference between also knowing God and being an expert and knowing why God does what God does. And none of us can. Like, none of us can understand God to that level. We could understand God. We can know him and we can understand him to a degree. But there's no way we understand
all of him,
why things happen the way they happen. Like truly evil things that are allowed by him, that the devil does. Mm-hmm. God doesn't cause them, but he allows it to happen. And it's devastating and heart-wrenching to us. And for us not to understand it means that God is so much bigger and more complex than anything we could ever imagine. And I look at marriage the same way. We could understand it and we have it to a degree. And again, like Brandy said, we learn. We're being coached. Everybody needs people like us for them, like everybody. So, you need it. We also need it. So we have those people, and the people that we go to, guess what? They have those people. Those people, they have people. And everybody is always ahead of where they are, right? So like the people who mentor us in our marriage, they have people ahead of them mm-hmm. that are mentoring them. And it's always like that. We always want to be reaching up and reaching back, right? So we want to reach up to go up, but we also want to reach back to pull up. And so, yeah, that's it. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think that was a good introduction.
So, yeah, there's just a little introduction. So the podcast moving forward, what you'll see is questions that we've gotten from people we'll be answering on the podcast. So if you got any questions, you can reach out to us, Jacob Gospel on social media, or Marriage Vision Project on social media. I'm sure they're going to have a button somewhere, wherever you're watching this. You can reach out to Brandy on social media. So Brandy Gospel on social media, mm-hmm. and the Jacob Gospel, you can reach out to me on anywhere. So you could just DM any kind of question that you have on there and we'll get to it. Keep in mind that every question that we have, we're going to answer anonymously. We're not here to embarrass anybody or show anybody up, because you know what? We do just as much dumb stuff as you and everybody else out there. And we're all looking for help. So it's a humbling thing, but send in your questions. You could rest assured we're never going to blast anything out. And in fact, the question that you're struggling with, there's 100 other people with the same question out there. So just send them in. We'll be getting to the questions, and you'll see, I promise you, you'll see the question that you're thinking of that you're too scared to send in. Somebody else is going to send something in, and we'll answer it. And then you'll know, hey, man, yeah, he was right. He's not blasting our name out there and doing anything.
Yeah.
Also, too, we're going to be having couples come on. We'll be interviewing those couples, and whether it be entrepreneurial couples to where we can help you guys who are entrepreneurs and business owners navigate those tough things, because we know that's not an easy field. And then we'll have just different types of situations come up, and we want to invite those couples to come on. And you never know, you DM us and tell us your story, and it may be some of you guys that we invite on here too, because we're definitely going to do that. So if you got a unique story of any kind that you think would help somebody, if you have a story that you believe other people need to hear, DM us, write us, tell us your story, because I'm telling you, you're going to bless many people with that. And what you'll find is God will bless you because you're helping other people, and he did us, and that's why we're here sitting in the outdoor kitchen doing this podcast today. And you'll see us too. Like, so for those of you who watch on YouTube and not just listening, you'll see like we filmed this in our home, and sometimes we filming it in the truck waiting in car line. Sometimes we're going to be by the pool, or upstairs in my man cave, or out sitting in the yard somewhere, maybe on the golf cart. Like we're not we don't have a studio, we don't have a bunch of fancy equipment. Like literally got some little microphones, got a little computer, got a camera, and we're just normal people doing normal everyday life things, looking to help you guys out. So anything else?
No, we're good. I'm ready to go.
Cool. So look, we thank you guys for being here. Share this with anybody and everybody that you think it could help. Don't make them feel bad. Don't shame people into it. Just share it. And if you need us to reach out to some of them people, again, DM us. We'll be glad to do that. Again, we'd love to have you on. We'd love to have you here. Thank you for watching. This is Jacob and Brandy with the MVP podcast. See you next time.